Okay, in this painting video I'm going to be doing Bella and Rosario, which is a kind of her School of Magic evocation. And we're hoping that the paint will stick to the miniatures this time. I did a little test with this, so it seems to be going alright. We will soon find out. I also did a little bit of a test with Rosario's wings. So I think the paint is sticking to these ones for a change. So we should be good, he says. Proof's going to be in the pudding when we paint these two miniatures. They're really cool. They remind me a bit more Disney in the sense of their design style. And I'm looking forward to painting these very much. It should come out really well. Her dress is the only thing I'm not really sure how I'm going to use. I think I'll probably go with the new blue I got and just water it down because it's a bit too dark, the blue, to start with. So without further ado, let's get to the table and start painting. So I'm going to start by continuing to finish off the wings using Apothecary White. And I believe these are the Omni. I believe Bella is the leader of the, I guess you could say leader, or the mage that focuses on the Omni School of Magic. Which is quite cool. Omni got some decent damage, a bit of everything really. When I played it on the solo mode. And I'll show my Infamy of Crete in a second. Now this video will go live before the Infamy of Crete video, just because of I have to edit the Infamy of Crete one. I had a bit of a nightmare, a disaster nightmare, because the paint would not stick. So I ended up, it took a long time. I think about 3 hours or 3.5 hours to paint that one. Because I had to keep going over the area over and over again. Right, okay, that's Rosario's lovely wings. These are beautiful miniatures, a bit more cartoony styled, but beautiful. So they really should shine with contrast paints. Definitely. Right, so Infamy of Crete. I was quite pleased with where he actually eventually turned out, but that was a lot of hard work. It was going over the same area over and over and over again just to try and get the colour to stick. It took a very long time. But yeah, he's a beast, and one of my favourite miniatures, as well as forgotten cards in the game as well. So watch out for that video. That will be coming up soonish. Right, now I'm going to go into the skin tone of Bella, just using standard Guiliman flesh for this one. So a really nice skin tone is Guiliman flesh. And we I want it quite thin because I don't want it very dark tone. What a great miniature. There we go. And her hands. And touch wood, it looks like the paint is properly sticking to this miniature. It was basically the ones that I primed a lot earlier on. And it almost seems like the longer you leave it, the worse the effect happens. So I'm getting the same with the Clockwork Golem. I tried the Clockwork Golem just a second ago, and that's not working at all either. So I'm going to re-prime that one. Okay, That's the skin tone for Bella. Done. And let me just show you that. Making sure, just going straight up, whoops, to there. There we go. Now Rosario, she's got very pale skin, so I think we better do a kind of just a medium thinned version of that. So I'll put a bit of water in this one. Okay, so using this, we'll grab some of that, Guiliman flesh. Grab our contrast medium. About half as much contrast medium. Let's see what this looks like. This should be a bit too much paint on the brush there, perhaps. Should be quite a pale-ish version of Guiliman flesh. Is it the whole thing? Yeah. So you've got a fair amount of this skin tone. Very cute. Yeah, I like the tone. The skin tone's good. Yeah. Let's just tie up the outside of the wing there. Perfect. There we go, Rosario. It's got a skin tone, very subtle, but it is on the art as well. So it's exactly what I was aiming for. Okay, then she's got green and red on Rosario, so that's a nice easy one to do. Right, okay, going back to Bella. I think I'll do this hair, kind of golden hair, probably with Snakebite Leather. I think that's just thinned down Snakebite Leather, to be honest. That'll probably do it. So I'm going to grab Snakebite Leather for her hair. I'm going to thin that down with some contrast medium. Oh, Aggaros Dunes. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to go Snakebite Leather. I'm going to go Aggaros Dunes. I think that will give a better yellower ochre colour. Probably still going to thin this down just slightly. Not by a lot. Yeah, thin it down just a little bit. So, half a brush. Thin down that one. And let's go, oops. Being careful not to get over the skin that I've just done. Not worrying too much about the hat as much. There we go. Nice. Okay, then moving on from there, I think we'll go straight on to try and get a decent colour for this cloak and the hat and everything. And then what we'll do is we'll thin that down again to do the rest of it. So I'm going to go over to here because we've got a kind of purple colour going on here. And the blue I'm going to use is Leviadon blue. And we're certainly going to be using a bit of contrast medium to thin this down. So just using a fair amount of that should do it. And then contrast medium. Probably a good brush full. And a bit, I guess. I'm just going to let that. There you go. That should do it. It's just over a brush full. I'd say even more. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in a bit of blue with it. I don't think it's blue enough. So I'm going to get a good brush of blue. Mix that in with it. Hopefully that makes it a bit bluer. That's more like it. That's more like it. Right. Well, proof's in the pudding. Let's. Good news is the paint's sticking. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think it'll look pretty good. Oh, it's not a lot of primer on this bit, is there? How's that hat look? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Right, we carry on with the same colour anyway. Over the shirt. Oh, I was a bit careless. Don't really want her with a blue face, particularly on neck, so or hair. Let's try and go a bit. Getting a bit of repelling going on there. Oh, the small brush in between the neck. Yeah, we're getting. Oh dear, we go again. The inside of the cloak, that's purple as well, so it's well, sorry, the blue, I should say. This is really not taking now, is it? I think I'm just going to go full blue with all of this. I don't know what the skirt's like though. That'll be different, I imagine. Start off so well. Yep, that's... Oh, no! So we are still getting repellent going on. Maybe just... I don't know. When I started this miniature, I thought, we're okay. Clearly we're not. And the effect will be properly seen here on the cloak. Not as bad as the Infamy of Crete, I've got to be honest, but still not great. Nice blue though. Whoops. Lovely blue. the paint actually sticks to where the primer didn't actually get to better. That's bizarre, isn't it? There we go. That's cool. Yeah, really pleased with that blue. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's certainly much better than the Infamy of Crete was. Okay, Rosario, back to Rosario. So now I'm going to move on to the green of the stem and the flowers. I'm just going in with the Black Rose Wars Classic of Warp Lightning Green. Being careful with the skin, I've already done. Not very careful, huh? Perhaps I should go with a smaller brush. Yeah, no. Come on. Rosario's skin's so pale. It's going to show up any mistake I make. I will definitely use a thinner brush to get into the detail. Okay. It's looking cool. Right, let's do that now. So go into my detail brush. 000, I would say, roughly, in terms of size. For some reason I missed a bit there. Okay, nearly. That's a thorn there. And there's also, that's a belly button. There's her green leaves and stem. She's holding on to so dearly. And we'll move back on to Bella. I think because we've got the paint here, we're going to thin that down again to do the rest of the cloak. Now mine will be bluer than purple. Well, maybe I'll go with a more purple colour. So I want a decent amount of this. And I think I might... Yeah, I'm going to put a bit of this Magos purple in with it. And probably a little bit more of the contrast medium as well. It needs to be not nearly white, actually. Well, that literally did nothing. Let's put another one of these in. And then another one of these. Another full one of those. Okay, a moment of truth. I've got rid of the colour I kind of need. That's a cool colour. And then we'll just but you've got to be a little bit careful because that blue's still a little bit wet. And it's not that blue I want. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, that's good. And I think her dress will be the same, right? I think I'm going to put the dress with the same tone. I think the reason why the Infamy Crete was so bad is because it's got such large areas to paint. A much bigger miniature, that really doesn't help when you're getting this effect going on. We are certainly getting the repelling. Yeah. Ooh. And as always, I would wait until one of your coats, and one of your colours have dried before you attempt painting the next, unlike I'm doing here. Yeah, would you believe it or not, the actual bit that I didn't prime is taking the paint better. Bizarre. Oops. Oops. Just trying to get Stock. It'll look fine. That's dried. Okay, going back to little Rosario, and I think we're in time for the red, which is pretty much the rest of the miniature, which is nice and easy. I'm going to use a bit of something, I think, on this hat, because it's slightly duller. And her hair is also red. This is a black rose. No, this is a full red rose, okay. Well, nearly went over the ear then. I wasn't looking to see about the ear then. I think I'm alright. Got away with that. I'll use the thin brush there again to really get into that was terrible. That was terrible brushwork. But let's give that another go. Better. Again, I'm going to go in the smaller brush and just do the really close details. Okay, so let's get in the smaller brush. I don't know. Oh, that's right. Just be a little bit careful because red's such a powerful colour in the contrast range. Oh, the rest should be okay to use with the thicker brush. So the rest of the petal there. So back to my size 0. And this Blood Angel's red really does give a vibrant red, which is exactly what you want for this velvety rose. Rosario is finished. So that was a nice quick miniature. Right, let's get to the brown staff of Bella next. Wyldwood for that one. Wyldwood, such a great brown colour to use. Ah, the skirt hasn't taken. That's right, I've still got some left. Some paint left that I could do that with. So we should be fine. So we're just, I mean, this Wyldwood just dries so nice. And the Clockwork Golem, I was going to use this, but the card art suggests a more yellowy look, so that's what Snakebite Leather. You can use Snakebite Leather for 100% for... Sorry, I'm just looking at that. Is that the dark blue or the light blue? Let's get that filled in anyway. So I'm just going to use the blue that I had from before, and it's just this bit here. Got it? Okay, now I think we'll do Snakebite Leather for all the leather work of that. So where is my Snakebite Leather? There it is. So grabbing Snakebite Leather, I'm going to do all the strapping for Bella. That blue's really dried nicely. I think I'm going to chuck her into one of these holders. just to make my life hopefully a little bit easier. No, will that go over the blue? Probably not, no. Okay, we're going to have to redo parts of this. Oops. And I think I'll do the satchels in the same. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I think we'll do all this brown actually, to be honest. I'm not going to go too different, so I think the bags will also be in Snakebite Leather. Yep. Looks fine. And I'm also going to do her shoes in this Snakebite Leather as well. Give her some... No, the stockings I'm going to do in white, I think. I'm going to keep them white. Again, just been a little bit, trying to be a bit careful with the base. Don't want to have to reprime the base before I go over it. If I can help it. Okay, and there's the lovely shoes. Yeah, she's looking good. Nice, lovely blue colour. I love the blue colour that's come out there. Okay, so she's got white scroll. So I'm going to do this with Apothecary White, her legs with Apothecary White. We've got a buckle to do in silver, a little emblem here, a little clasp up here. And then she's got some kind of funky turquoise nail polish going on, so I might go a bit of that as well. First of all, though, let's carry on with the basing. We've been going for 45 minutes, and we're not a billion miles off finishing these miniatures. So, you know, sometimes you spend 3.5 hours on one miniature, like the Infamia Crete, and then sometimes you'll spend an hour on 2 miniatures, like these guys. And this is Basilicanum grey, as always, for the base. Trying to get into those deep recesses. Ooh, watching the foot, watching the foot. I think that's all vines there, so that's all good. Got to look, see kind of where the detailing of the vines and the stonework kind of mesh. Just doing my best to try and cover all the. Just going to do a little bit in there. It's better. Okay, I think that will do. Okay, so that's the grey of the base for Rosario done. With Basilicanum grey, just in case I didn't show it. And ready to just keep going on. So let's. I need to do a bit of touch up, but first let's do the metalwork. So going in with lead belcher. Don't need loads of this because in fact I'm going to go to the small brush as well. Make sure we got some moisture on there. Okay, that's the metal work done. Wow, it's quite strange not having much metal work to do. I mean, it speeds things up extraordinarily. Then we're going to get the Wraithbone base, so we need to touch up a couple of bits that we're going to be painting white. Get a tiny bit of water. Just want that to flow. Number one, we've got the blue paint on the back of the legs there, so that needs to be done. Second thing, the scroll needs a bit more defining. Perfect. So they're ready now to get the Apothecary White on them. She's got her eyes closed, so we're going to do some line work, probably with the Black Templar. That'll be interesting. That has to go right. It's just looking really nice. So that's, yeah, spot on the mat on the staff there that's been missed. Let's just sort that out very quickly. Better? Okay, so I mean, they're looking not good already. Will I do Rosario with I think Aggaros Earthshade might be the way forward on that bit. She looks a bit pale, a little bit pale. But no, good, great enough. 100% happy with that. Right, next, let's move on to the green of the vines on the base. So again, Warp Lightning Green, as always with the bases of Black Rose Wars that I've been doing. So I'm just going to put that into the holder again. We're just going in, trying as best as we can to be reasonably neat with this. Though sometimes it's quite hard, but just because of angles and Nope. Just getting in there, trying to get these these vines picked out. I do appreciate a textured base, but it's not easy. But it is pretty cool. It's just a matter of just going around the model, just picking out any bits that you missed. Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's Bella's. Let's go on to Rosario. Do the same thing. Oh, they've got an orange bit splash of green there. Yeah. Again, black around the base, so that's why I'm not getting super careful around that part. Yeah, I wanted to paint these two because they felt Disney, and they felt different to the others, the more serious. And I was like, yeah, that'd be fun to paint. But that's quite hard to get in without ruining all the skin work there. Not bad, John. Need some more green paint. I mean, they decided to model the stalks going past his feet, which is makes it a little bit harder. Not gonna lie, just a little bit in there now. That's good. Escaped my brush, didn't it? As I've said on previous videos, the bases for these can take longer than the miniature themselves. Which I think is Rosario's case here. Okay, pretty happy with that. Oops. Okay. Rosario green done. Let's go back to Bella and get that Apothecary White done next. Maybe use that. So, Apothecary White's next. Go pretty heavy on that scroll, as well as the legs. I know it looks like her dress above, but trust me, it will dry a lot brighter than that. Whiter than that. And then finally, Basilicanum Grey for, well, no, Griff Charger Grey. Where is it? I'm going to go to Griff Charger Grey for her necklace there. To try and get that slightly lighter. I know I'm talking about a tiny little brooch. So I'm going to go in with the small brush here. And, well, I might as well just carry on. Oops. Oh dear, whoops. Okay. Okay, and then I suppose we've got to do the flowers, right? So actually, I'm going to come back with that Apothecary White. And the way I do the flowers, the roses, is I do white, red, and black rose. So let's start with a big fat white one right there. Another white one here. And a third white one here. So that's the white roses done for her. Rosario. Similar. One here. Let's do this one white. And actually, I'm going to do that one right at the back there, white, because it's close to. Getting white on her skin is going to be less problematic than red or black. Now we'll go with the red. So Blood Angel's red again. And I'm going to just do, so for example, I'm doing this as a black rose. I do red around the centre of that. If I want an actual red rose, paint the whole thing, of course. And just a fair mix of the three different roses, basically on. That was a white one, wasn't it? So let's have that as the black rose. that as a black rose. Let's have 3 black roses on there. Okay, that's that done. Back to Rosario. That's going to be a black rose. That's just going to be red. We have black rose here, red rose here, and then black rose, red rose. Nearly there, which is a nice fast paint job, that's good. And then we go to Black Templar. For several reasons. We need to do the fine lining of... We've just got a mouth open as well. So eyebrows, eyelashes, and the mouth. I haven't decided yet. I might go in with... with some normal. Anyway, the black over the red for the black roses. There you go, she's now done. Well, apart from, obviously, the detail work. Let's go with Rosario. Do the same thing. Okay, Rosario now done. I'll keep the black open and we go to our smaller brush. And let's see if we can get the detail done on this character. So, right, okay. A bit more paint than that. Might need more than that, in fact. Okay, now the eyebrows. Pretty happy with that. And now the mouth. So, I think rather than black, I think black will be way too strong. I'm going to go with some Nuln Oil, which will just darken that area. So, nearly finished this Nuln Oil now. We're on an hour and 10 minutes. It's not bad at all. Just need to do around the base, of course. Oh, that's a bit too much. There we go. Now she doesn't have lipstick or anything on, so I think just making sure that... How does that look? Yeah, I'm pleased with that. That looks good. She's so kind of either Dorothy or Alice in Wonderland. She's got a look about her. I'm really pleased with that how that's turned out. Those two together are going to look so good. Okay, so that's all the painting done. So now it's just the base. So back to my just normal black acrylic paint. And then with the black to finish it off. Now this black acrylic I use it's already kind of been watered down, so I don't use I don't water it down at all. It tends to flow right as is. But you may need to, depending on which black you're using, you may need to add a little bit of water to make it flow, of course. Rosario done. And just look at that, it just really does work. It just kind of puts a frame around the miniature itself. And we're getting there. There's a lot of paint on that one, wasn't there? There's a... And that is Bella done. So we've now completed the miniatures completely. I don't know if that's even a word. There's Bella. Really, really pleased with how these have turned out. And there's cute little Rosario. And that's them painted. Okay. I'll be sure to chuck on some final photos on social media. But that was using contrast paints, pretty much all contrast paints, to do Bella and Rosario, which was really, really fun. Really enjoyed painting them. That blue's really come out well. I'm really chuffed with that. Okay, so thanks for watching, and until next time, keep painting, keep playing.